Hello and welcome everyone. I am Manya Khurana and today we're going to discuss about a very unique and tricky topic you can say, which is phyllotaxy. It is something that we don't hear often, and it might be new to you, but it's actually very simple and easy to understand. So we'll be going about it, and I would like to tell you that it comes under botany, and we mainly study it under the leaf. So it's basically the arrangement of leaves, and we'll be going further with it through some presentations. So I'll be sharing the screen with you and you can view it. So as I already told you, phyllotaxy comes under botany and we study it under the leaf. Coming to the particular or the basic definition that is accepted throughout the world of phyllotaxy and in scientific notation than in botany. So, phyllotaxy is the pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem or branch of a plant or simply on an axis. If you are finding it difficult, if you have to say it in easy words, we can say it that the kind of way they're arranged. और अगर हम इसे आसान शब्दों में बोले, किस तरह से, किस ढंग से जो पत्ते हैं वो हमारी स्टेम पे या हमारे पौधे पे लगे हुए हैं, the way they are arranged. Okay, so in Greek, phylum means leaf and taxis means arrangement. So therefore we get the name phyllotaxy. So this term was coined by Charles Bonnet. Now there are various types of phyllotaxy, and there are majorly three types of phyllotaxy which are considered in botany, which is alternate, opposite and whorled. The further classifications of phyllotaxy are grouped under these three only. Apart from this, we have one more type of phyllotaxy, which is ternate phyllotaxy, and I would be discussing it later on. Coming to alternate phyllotaxy. So what is alternate phyllotaxy? So basically a single leaf arises at each node in an alternate manner. So the rule we can apply for this is one node and one leaf. So the leaf have a pattern which is similar to the left, right, wherein on the left side one leaf grows on one node, on the other hand, on the right side another leaf grows, and on the other hand, left, right. So this follows. So the examples of alternate phyllotaxy would be China rose, which we commonly know as hibiscus, then mustard and sunflower plants. So this was about it. Coming to opposite phyllotaxy. So a pair of leaves arise at each node and they lie opposite to each other. The rule you can apply for this is one node equals to two leaves. So in this kind of phyllotaxy, two leaves grow on each node and they share the node. So they can be together as companions basically. And on one node there are two leaves. Examples are guava plant, calotropis and maple tree plant. I hope this is clear to you all. Coming to whorled phyllotaxy. So more than two leaves arise at a node and form a whorl. A whorl can be called as a structure similar to an umbrella. It's like an opening, or as a flower you can see a bloom. So the rule for this is one node equals to many leaves. They share one node like a family, and this is similar to the structure of an umbrella. Examples would be Alstonia, aloe vera and nerium. Aloe vera is commonly found and you can observe this. Also, this is called verticillate phyllotaxy if you have to be particular. Apart from this, there's one thing that comes under whorled phyllotaxy, which is a rosette. So basically, we've seen that whorls arise at nodes, but there might be structures whereas there's no stem or nodes. The whorl arises at the base only. So the basal structure where all the leaves are attached at the base of the shoot, and there might be internodes or they might not be, but the internodes are really small. And this basal whorl, which we call with a large number of leaves spread out in a circle, is called a rosette. Rosette can be of various types. It can be of flowers, it can be of leaves, but here we are particularly talking about basal whorl. Now there are other types of phyllotaxy as well, which are grouped under the three main types only. alternate discus or biferous phyllotaxy and alternate spiral phyllotaxy, they fall under the alternate phyllotaxy. In alternate discus or biferous phyllotaxy, you can see simple rows of leaves with one node sharing one leaf. In alternate spiral phyllotaxy, when you view the plant from above, you see a spiral being formed, like a round and round and round structure. But in alternate biferous or discus phyllotaxy, we have simple rows. And in alternate spiral, you have round structures when you view it from the top, basically, or from the side. So it's forming a spiral. Coming to decussate and superposed phyllotaxy. These both fall under opposite phyllotaxy. In decussate phyllotaxy, the leaves are arranged perpendicular to each other in opposite directions. So in normal superposed phyllotaxy, when you superpose these leaves over the midrib or the stem, they'll superpose each other. But in decussate, they're perpendicular to each other. So they can't be literally superposed, but they're perpendicular, that is at 90 degrees angle with each other. Coming to ternate phyllotaxy, it is special because on one node, 3 leaves grow. So this forms a triplet basically. So this is about ternate phyllotaxy. Now you can view the diagrams and you can see that in alternate discus phyllotaxy, it is forming rows. In opposite phyllotaxy, it's also forming rows, but it's sharing one node. In opposite decussate phyllotaxy, you see there are 2 pairs of leaves which are perpendicular to each other. So in such cases, what happens is one pair of leaves fold so that the other pair of leaves grow. In spiral, they form a spiral round structure in an alternate manner. And you have the diagram for world as well. So this was about it. Now we'll be doing a sample study also, which I'll be sharing with you right now. So we saw the types of phyllotaxy. So in practical life, how would you apply? So I have taken one Ashoka leaf. This is Ashoka leaf. I hope it's visible to you. So you see, this is the stem, and you see there's this node, one leaf is growing. On this node, one leaf is growing. On this node, one leaf is growing. On this node, one leaf is growing. So this forms the alternate phyllotaxy. And this is biferous because it does not form a spiral. Had it been spiral, if you had viewed from above, it won't have formed rows. It would have formed a spiral. Coming to opposite phyllotaxy. So I've taken a guava plant leaf. So you see the sharing nodes. One node is sharing 2 particular leaves, and they share it like companions. So this is the guava plant. You can have a closer view. So they share basically 2 nodes, one node and 2 leaves, which are very clear. Now we come to the world phyllotaxy. It's also special because it doesn't happen every day that many leaves grow on one node. So many leaves on one node, you can see there's 6 leaves attached to one particular node. This is one node and there are 6 leaves, 3 pairs of leaves out there. If you have to see a rosette, it's basically like this. Many leaves grow at the base and you can see there's no stem. There's directly the smaller node or whatever, node or shoot you can say, which hasn't grown much. It's basically attached to the root as well. So it grows directly at the base. So this is a rosette, and if you view it from above, it will form a whirl or circle of leaves. But this is withered, so you won't be able to see it. If you see it in a fresh plant, you'll be able to make out better. So this isn't attached to a stem. The stem is modified and the nodes are really small. You can see out in here. They're really small. So that was about phyllotaxy. Hope the topic was clear to you, and you can explore more about botany on your own, and I hope you liked it. Thank you.